The mythical hero Odysseus is trying to get back to his wife and son after a decade at war. But this is not the trip home he envisioned. After several weeks at sea, he has lost 72 of his men in an ambush and confronted hurricane winds that pushed him far off course. Now, an unknown island offers a chance to replenish both supplies and morale. Odysseus selects his 12 best men to explore the island with him. Just before he sets off, he grabs one last item, a goat skin full of wine. They come across a cave filled with food. Only one thing is missing: the cave's owner. Inside the cave, Odysseus and his men help themselves to a long-awaited feast. As the sun sets, the man of the house finally returns. But he is not what the sailors were expecting. He is a giant cyclops, a ravenous beast with the strength of 20 men and one massive eye in the middle of his face. The sight of him sends Odysseus and his men cowering into a dark corner. The Cyclops lights his nightly fire, and the men are exposed. In the blink of an eye, the Cyclops lunges forward, grabs 2 of the sailors, and devours them. If the men don't kill the Cyclops, they will surely die. It is a hopeless situation, but Odysseus has overcome too much to give up now. If he can't use his strength to beat this monster, he'll use his intelligence. At sunrise, the Cyclops devours 2 more men. Then he heads out to graze his sheep, sealing the cave behind him. Time is running out for Odysseus. The mastermind of the Trojan horse desperately needs a new stroke of genius, and fast. While the Cyclops is out tending his sheep, Odysseus spots the massive wooden club he left behind and gets an idea. With the help of his men, he shaves the narrow end to a fine point, hardens it over a flame, and waits. As night falls, the Cyclops returns. He snatches 2 more sailors and eats them alive. As the dust settles, Odysseus steps forward with the wine he brought from his ship. He offers it to the Cyclops. The beast downs 1 bowl, then another, and a third. Instantly, he begins to teeter. As the drunk giant stumbles around the cave, he asks Odysseus his name and gets a clever answer.
My name is Nobody.
With that, the Cyclops crashes to the floor and passes out. Odysseus springs into action. With the help of his men, he lifts the buried stake, charges forward, and plunges it into the eye of the beast.
Hearing the screams of the Cyclops inside of his cave, the other Cyclopses come around and ask him, "What's going on inside of there? We hear your screams. Something horrible must be happening." The Cyclops at that point then answers, "Nobody is hurting me. Nobody is harming me." And the neighbor Cyclopses then scratch their heads and say, "Well, I guess nobody's hurting him. We might as well go back to bed."
The wounded Cyclops opens the doorway in a blind rage. Odysseus sees his opening and makes his move. As his ship sails away from the coast, he can't resist revealing his own true identity. It's a mistake that will haunt him for years to come.
You want to know who I am? I am Odysseus, son of Laertes.
The Cyclops is blinded and beaten. But he has one last hope for revenge. His powerful father. It turns out the Cyclops is a son of the sea god Poseidon. And he intends to make Odysseus pay with his life.